episode of Randy's Rants here with Dingbat. You know, he's finally back from his hiatus of
Had to go to a retreat, man. I've been dealing with this guy as a fucking hassle. It's
trans retreat. He was going through a trans retreat because he's thinking of transitioning. But here with my guest, Mr. Alex, you like to go by?
Yeah, Alex. Or you could call me the Grenade, Cruz, whatever
like
you.
Cruz is dope.
Cruz.
I think I like
Yeah.
Cruz.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I don't know, man. That grenade sounds pretty catchy, though. Grenade.
The
grenade.
Or the Cruz grenade.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cruz grenade. That's
Yeah, you put a merch, a grenade with a cross on it.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that.
That's not bad. But go ahead and let the people know what you do, my man.
Well, right now I'm a business owner. I own a rival cleaning service. I'm also a partner with Vital Home Inspection, so I'm a home inspector. And then, yeah, I just live out in Visalia. I've been living out here for 7 years. I moved out here after I left the Marine Corps.
Oh,
so,
snap.
yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you for your service, big dog.
Hey, thank you for
Happy
your
Veterans
support.
Day, my man.
Thank you. Thank
Man,
you.
it's people like you that I'm always grateful for. You know, because during this time, my brother knows these past few months, I've been binge watching a lot of like the World War II stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know how like, especially like I kind of say like kind of my generation, there are a lot of complainers. A lot of complainers about everything. I'm like, bro, if you realize
No,
how many
Ray,
people...
don't throw that much on your generation.
Hey,
Come on.
bro.
Hard times.
Fucking mic, bro. Like, God damn.
Well, maybe someone's did a better setup. I don't have to
Hey,
worry about
shut
this.
But
I'm the talent here.
Going back to that, it's like as I was watching, I was like, "Fuck, my generation's a bunch of fucking complainers, bro." Like, bro, like I'm like watching someone. I'm like, some of these guys on, especially on the when they already had invaded France and they're right there side by side with the Germans. Like, some of them didn't even have ammo for like weeks on end. I was like, in my generation, well, not all, but you know, the majority are like complaining about something. I'm like, just get up, put your big boy panties on or big girl panties on, and just get to work. Enjoy your life, because someone died for you to be there. You're not
100.
there for accident. It's like they expect, you know, all this like opportunity to come to them. But
No, yeah.
that's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about that right now. We'll get more into it. But how'd you get into the Marine Corps, big dog?
I enlisted in 2007. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I had a rough lifestyle, and I just didn't have nothing going for me, man. And one day I decided, hey, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. You know, I just got tired of family and friends just telling me that I wouldn't make it. You know, I would either be in prison or end up dead. Like pretty much telling me like, dude, you're not going to make it to 18 or 21.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like when you get enough that said to you enough, it's like, okay, I got to make a change. What am I going to do?
It's like that click finally.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches and basically like take a step back and self-reflect on why a lot of people are telling you like, hey, you're not going to amount to nothing because you're clearly not doing anything good, right? You know, it's like I mentioned, I grew up in the streets, you know, never like being home because I had a lot of drama at home. So I was always found myself out on the streets, you know, like any teenager not doing anything. Well, I don't know what really teenagers do nowadays.
Yeah.
You know? Their faces is probably stuck in Instagram and Facebook, you know.
Instagram, Facebook. They're doing something.
They're doing something.
Something they're not supposed to be doing.
It's the social media generation. That's why.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a social
media
exactly.
generation.
And so, you know, I might sound like old timers like back in my day, you know, you were out in the streets, you know, you were always outside. You were either playing or you're getting in trouble. One of the two, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I would pick up roadkill and I'd throw it to the neighbor's house all the time. Just, you know, no, because you got to do random shit. Keep yourself
Him and
entertained.
his friends, when they were little, it was before I was born, they almost set a field on fire.
No, I did set a field on fire, but
That's
different though.
Where we were living, my mom was like, I got to get this kid out of here. Out of all of them, she always said, bro, my mom still says out of all of them, if there's someone that would have been into that, it would have been you.
Yeah, but through the power of family and God, I was able to overcome that.
In the intervention.
And plus, I was 6 years old with matches, and
Well,
it's a
I mean-
field.
I mean, hey, we got to be honest. Hey, we always have that destructive person in our family.
Especially
Yeah.
that I don't want to offend anybody, but this is what I used to say in the Marine Corps when guys couldn't hack stuff. I'd be like, dude, you were definitely an abortion gone wrong.
Also, just let you know, there's no offending here, bro.
Okay.
I don't give a
Hey,
damn.
see-
Fuck that shit. I'm about, bro. If you expect other people to walk on shells, you're getting a fake person. That's not who they are.
Oh, absolutely. 100.
You know, you want
Yeah.
if you want somebody to be real, you gotta accept there's the side maybe they have a different view, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. Because if it's only wrong if you look at it differently.
Absolutely. And you know what? I agree with that, dude, because it's like my main thing is right now, especially, is like throw expectations out the window.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because you're gonna get disappointed every time. I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, I'm gonna disappoint you. But you know what? I'm not ever gonna stop loving you. I'm gonna disappoint you. Dad's gonna disappoint you. But I'm always gonna be here for you.
That's deep right there.
Yeah.
That's deep. Yeah, and especially in this day, it's like when I started this podcast, I was like, I didn't know what I wanted. Well, I just wanted to start it, and then now it's just like with everybody fucking being like scared to say something like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, man, who gives a fuck, bro? In the span of 15 years, you're not gonna remember those fucking days.
All right,
I mean,
Randy.
people either like you or don't like you.
Exactly.
You can either let them get to you or don't. There's no, how I like to say
Well,
this, though. For
So
me,
what's your real opinion on Black Lives
there's no
Matter
conspiracy
then,
to be-
Randy?
I'm going to say how Kevin Gates said it. He said it the best. He was like, who does Black Lives Matter to? His own people shit on him and steal from him. And he said that, so I'm like, proved a really good point.
Yeah.
And that goes also for usually every race.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes the people who shit on you the most are going to be sometimes your very own people.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, we all have, any race, we all have that bad apple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's anything you do, realistically.
Yeah, that's true.
You're always gonna have a bad apple.
Yeah.
And if you allow that bad apple to spoil the whole tree, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Because once again, you got to think about it. It's like you can only control you. You know
Exactly, man. You can't control
what
it.
did I say earlier before we jumped on here? My favorite line as an addiction counselor, as a Marine, to my other Marines that I stole from one of my buddies was like, hey, turn around, rip off your bitch made tag, put a condom over your head because the world's going to fuck your feelings. Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings but you.
Yeah, nobody. Not even life gives a fuck about us.
Exactly. And, once again, like you said, oh, we're always, some people are walking on eggshells. And I'm like, but that's their problem. That's their fault. Like, why do you allow that?
Exactly. It's like, just be you.
Exactly.
If you, fuck, I'm going to love you for being you. And we may be totally opposites.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're that real, I'm just like, I fuck with you.
Yeah, exactly. You got to, the world, even as Americans, we revolve around loyalty. If you have loyalty, man, and you strongly believe in that loyalty, and you don't question it, and you're loyal to me being loyal to you or to your brother, like that goes long ways. People nowadays, a lot of people don't have character. Tough times create tough men or women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, men and women. That's so true. Not just men. Yeah.
Or other people transitioning them to their, you don't know what they are, like
Yeah.
Randy, but yeah, people, tough times create tough people, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the pandemic, right? The pandemic, one thing it proved was it's either you were going to fall on your face, flat on your face, or you're going to keep pushing and keep trucking.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And it has proven it, So,
I'm going to ask you a question.
What's
Be
that?
honest.
okay.
Do you believe it was nature created or man-made?
Honestly,
Give me your honest opinion.
Hey, my honest opinion, dude, like you look back in history, and I'm not saying I'm like super knowledgeable about history, but from what I know, I always been a history buff. You know what I'm saying? But I never I'm not saying that I was like drilled in the books.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you go back and you look at history, you know, right now we're going through so-called another recession, right?
Yeah.
It's either gonna make us or break us. Like, how many times we've seen that?
Yeah,
all the
shitload of times.
Over time. And once again, I go back to it. It's whatever you want to call it, an agenda, whatever you want to call it, is just to scare people and control people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's how I see it as. Mm-hmm. And once again, you know, I care about people. I generally do. You know, I network a lot, you know, and if you ever run into someone that knows me, you know, I'd be the first person to give my shirt off my back to you if you need it. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I always live by, I can only control what I can control. Mm-hmm. If I can't control, you know, everybody, oh, wear a mask, oh, pandemic this, pandemic that. That's not my control. I got COVID twice. I'm still here. Yeah. I'm not saying that, oh, you're weak and this, that, and the third. But
everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different. We all have different blood types. We all have different DNA. You know what I'm saying? Is once again, it's like, are you gonna allow COVID or whatever comes your way consume you and control you, or are you gonna strike back?
Straight 100%.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I always feel like in anything, like even with the common cold.
Yeah.
If you lay there, it's gonna hit you 10 times worse.
Yeah.
If you're always out and about, it seems for me, it's always seemed not to hit me as bad when I still am being active. Like I'm doing this, maybe doing a little bit of sauna, doing some stuff outside. Yeah. You know, it doesn't seem to hit me as bad.
Yeah.
But the moment you lay down, that shit fucking just hits you 10 times. If I feel like at that moment, like the moment you rest or you just stop basically kind of fighting, your body's like, oh, we can just chill.
I saw an interesting theory about that. Like, I saw a theory, one guy said, that was created basically to wipe out unhealthy people in like societies. Because they say that unhealthy people tend to be the biggest burden on the system.
Yeah.
You know, like people are ill or people are like people who are severely overweight. And then like when that thing happened, I was worried for Randy for a little bit because he was kind of big. But I was like,
bro, we weigh the same amount. The only difference is you're taller.
Can you let me speak, please? So I was worried about that, but then I thought about it. Did someone really come up with something to wipe out like big people or people already ill? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know exactly, but I really feel like it was made. It's too smart.
Yeah.
Survive direct sunlight for almost an hour and not dying. That's just, how do you survive heat, 100-degree heat and not die? Like usually everything at a high temperature usually kills everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the part that always got me. That was a little too smart.
Yeah.
Like it hit people at their weakness. Like people had like liver failure or something. It hit them. And I was always like, I always thought it was like, you know, that shit probably really happened because they were eating monkeys or bats or all that shit that were apparently they were saying they said they're eating animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like, no, this is way too smart to be coming from like a fucking what's it called, koala or a bat. And I was like, from there on, I always wondered, like, was that made? Or I was like, my opinion, it was made, but I could be proved wrong. You know, I don't know. Yeah. But I just thought it was always too smart, though. Yeah. It always hit people at their weakness, you see? And I was like, that's too smart for something that nature, something must have helped it to advance it that fast.
That's
you know?
true. I feel like it was made, but it was just mishandled and it just got out.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's a good.
Because I'm like, bro, like, you know, to create all these like vaccines and stuff for different cancers, new stuff. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes you gotta tangle with the devil.
That's true.
To find the answer.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
look at Ebola.
Yeah, and I feel like with
they had that shit at labs.
In my opinion, I felt like it was just they created it. They tried to probably figure some shit out. Went sideways. Somehow it got out and kind of screwed up the world. Because you know, let's be honest. Life really don't care about us, so it's not gonna allow us to live a disease-free life.
Oh yeah.
Because even a disease is a life form. That life form has to survive.
People said it was coming from like the glaciers that are melting, like in Antarctica. You know how different
that,
stuff like that. Hey, that's a real theory. It kind of makes sense at first, But then I was like, I don't know if that really. First I kind of believed it, but I was like, nah, I don't think so.
But I mean, let's be honest and be real. Are we ever gonna fucking know how it actually was caused or whatever?
Honestly, I
there's
think in
always
40
gonna
years.
be
I was just saying, in 40, 50
Like
years,
the
we'll
Kennedy,
know the answer.
like the Kennedy
It's-
assassination. It should come out soon. The papers after everyone's dead, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because then we come up with all these new DNA
yeah, exactly,
testing stuff, and like the craziest thing ever is like the ancestry.com, like
Oh god.
and then you realize, hey, you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I realized he wasn't even my brother. He was my. He's actually adopted.
What are you trying to say?
You're adopted.
You're adopted. What we were saying earlier, there's always that one,
the one, the bad apple. I
bad,
figured why he's the bad apple, bro.
Well, you're a bad pair.
oh man,
You're saying that because I'm fat and the pear is shaped like fucking all obtuse.
I just said pair. You want to take it into shaming? I don't know. I said pair.
I'm watching you, bro.
No, but it's true like that. I think like you said, we'll never know exactly what
You want
happened.
some ice for your drink, big dog?
yeah, sure. Thank
Keep
you.
it cold.
But all we know is that it was pretty rough for a while. But I just think we just have to live with it. I think a couple more years, and I think everybody should be really not really worried about it though.
No,
But-
yeah, dude.
I feel like it goes back to how you said you can only control what you do.
Yeah.
You should don't worry about this other shit because in reality you can only do what you
Well,
do.
I mean, sometimes I get hit with the, oh, did you see the news? No, bro, I don't watch the news. I don't read the paper. I mean, I only look at things that I'm interested.
Yeah.
And one of it is like, and I'm gonna be real, if it ain't making me money, I ain't worried about it.
Exactly, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, oh, we could talk about Bitcoin. We could talk about, we're going into another recession. But at the end of the day, once again, go out there and get it. There's out there, legally, illegal. You pick your poison, right?
Exactly.
You
yeah.
pick your poison. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm a saint. Like I just told you, I grew up in a rough part of New York, New Jersey. I grew up in Connecticut. I lived in Puerto Rico. I lived all over. I've traveled. We were talking about this. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
I think you were talking. I remember I was gone.
Yeah,
for a little
yeah.
bit.
So I'm Puerto Rican descendant. And I've traveled all over the world with the Marine Corps too. And you make what you want to make out of life, and that's just point blank. You want to sit at home and sob all day. And I'm not discrediting mental health because I'm very for mental health awareness. You know what I mean? As a veteran, as a Marine that suffered still to this day because it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can I find ways to cope with my PTSD? Absolutely. That's why I go to counseling all the time. So I have mentors. I have business coaches. I have people that I can talk to. You know what I mean? When I'm feeling in a dark place per se. But I've come to the conclusion, like I was telling you earlier, I got out 7 years ago, right? Back in 2016. In 2017, I almost took my life, bro. I almost committed suicide.
Shit.
I almost was one of those 22, you know what I mean? And I just got so tired of being close to being a statistic, and I got my degree in counseling. I do a lot of market research, man. And I think part of why I'm so successful and I'm going to continue being successful is because, I take steps back and I self-reflect on certain situations and how I could have done that better. What can I do next time? You know what I mean? So for people that watching this, you gotta self-reflect. You gotta sit down and go in the dark, flick a knife and drink a bottle of bourbon or whatever. Do it responsibly, right?
Mm.
But fucking pinpoint those fucking demons, because if not, they're gonna continue attacking.
Crazy you say that because today I was at work and my director, she was telling they were sharing a story about their significant other. They were sharing a story about their significant other, and I'm gonna cut it short. It was during his recovery. He ends up kind of relapsing again for a little bit.
Yeah.
ODs, comes back, but from then on, never touched it. But the one saying that they said that stuck to me, and it's crazy how it goes back to what you just said. It was like, sometimes you have to die in order to live.
Absolutely. 100%.
And now that you're saying that, I'm just like,
did you get that from
It's
Nirvana
just-
song? You get that from a song?
no, I'm saying the story. That's what they told me.
Oh, okay.
You get
So I remember
the
hearing.
fat out of your ears and listen, you would have heard that.
I'm just saying, if you got it from Nirvana song,
The Nirvana song.
because I've heard he said I remember hearing that some kind of like a lyric like that in the
It's
song. I was like,
possible.
wow. I was like, dude,
'Cause they
that's
do
the
listen
same
to
thing
rock,
Kurt
so I
Cobain
wouldn't-
said.
I
It
wouldn't
didn't
doubt
end good for him though.
But when they told me that today, and you're saying, I'm like, maybe sometimes you do have to go through that darkness. You have to die in order.
Oh
to
yeah,
live.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how many famous people, how many successful people you hear about
All the time they
all
go
this
through-
time? I say this all the time, man. My story ain't unique. But it's like everybody else's story. We all been through some kind of trauma.
Yeah.
We all have some kind of mommy daddy issue, you know what I mean? And we got to just make the best of it, man, like you said. You know, and that's what I had to do. You know, at the time I had my little girl. You know, I was going through a divorce.
How old was she at the time?
My daughter was 2 years old.
Oh,
Till this day,
man.
dude, I say she's the love of my life too, man. Like, she saved my life, man. She'd send me a voice message and was like, "Daddy, I love you," and you know, and I got my foot out my ass, man. You know, I've been through too much to let go of life that easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
survived Afghanistan 5 times. That's
Yeah, like I survived.
That's a lot.
I survived combat. You know, I survived. You know,
Combat ain't easy.
growing up. You know, living with an
Mm-hmm.
alcoholic. You know, being out in the streets, and
I feel like you should write a book, like legit, big dog.
yeah, you know, honestly, I thought about it, but it's not my strong suit. Writing is not my strong suit.
No, but I think if you partner with someone who knows how to write,
Yeah.
I honestly think that would
Yeah.
be a badass book.
Yeah. And the craziest thing is, you know, my wife and I, we have a testimony, you know, about how like we reconciled and everything like that. And I'm proud of it, you know, because I only think about how many other marriages we've saved, just people looking at that video. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you know, we were just featured for November in Neighbors of Visalia, the
Yeah, I was
magazine.
about to show that right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show it right here.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'll take a picture of it too and upload it too. Neighbors of Visalia. What is this, my man? Because this is the first time I've seen this, and I'm not like,
Well,
it looks really.
well, the thing is, with that magazine, it's distributed to all the bougie communities. So it's a magazine where like you pretty much, I'm a expert contributor. So on page 4, you'll see I'm number 1 on there for my services. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just a bunch of advertisement in there for local businesses in Visalia. And you know, everybody has a story. So families get featured, and it's pretty much telling like your story of how you became a business owner and successful.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Pretty much, you know. And so it was cool because I actually a couple months back I pulled the trigger on doing advertisement in there. And
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pull the trigger on. So I was like, oh shit, this thing went. Wow, this
hey,
thing went left.
you're gonna you might hear a lot of Marine Corps terms here. So
All right, that's cool.
yeah. So I, like I said, I finally pulled the trigger on it, meaning moving forward with
oh,
them,
yeah.
you know. And so basically, yeah, it's just advertisement in there. And I did a 3-year contract with them, and it goes out to the bougie communities, you know. And yeah, that's how I got in there. And so they pretty much wrote an article on my family and I. And I was telling your brother earlier, it's Veterans Day, so my wife and I just made 11 years since we reunited.
Oh,
Because
wow,
that's a
awesome.
story in itself, dude. Because it was like Dear John without the Dear John letter. You read in the article how we met and how I left back to Afghanistan, and then no contact. And November 11, 2011, we were at a club and we crossed paths again. Talk about love at first sight and
Oh wow.
destiny, right?
It's like the military version of The Notebook.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest,
Yeah.
because they had to go to school or like they split up for a while and then came back.
Hey, and honestly, I love that movie.
That's great. That's a great
It's
movie.
a
when I was
classic,
young,
bro.
When I was younger, I disliked it. I like Superbad.
I don't
So
want to
that
know.
was my movie all the time.
I've always, some people tell me that's based on a true story. Some people say it was all just a story of the author. To this day, I don't know.
I'd be like,
I heard it was based on a
I
true
feel
story.
like it could have been a true story.
It kind of makes sense if it's a true story.
Yeah.
But I always wondered. I was like, is it real though? Because the author, no one's ever explained if it was based. It's based on a book, but no one ever said if it was real or not. But I think it's based on something that she heard, because it's too. All the stories made.
We got to be honest. Hollywood is gonna make things 10 times mushier. They're gonna switch things up. It's kind of like me being in a magazine or being in the paper or being on Univision or something. They're gonna
juice it up.
They're gonna juice it up. You know what I mean? But honestly, they did a really good job with the article.
Awesome.
You know, like that editor, she freaking pinpoint. And then also my wife, she wrote an article on hope in there. So it's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, what else you guys want to know about me?
Oh man.
No, you're talking about mental health. Do you think the mental health?
Hold on,
like
hold on. I want to touch on this right here.
All right, go ahead.
About the Hollywood juicing it up. It's true.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody like that. This guy.
What?
I'm
What
gonna
do you mean?
I'm gonna tell you this one time.
Juicing it up.
This one time, this guy got shot once outside of a 7-Eleven, I think. Man, this guy goes around telling my brother, telling my mom, yeah, he got shot 30 times. I'm like, bro, how do you go from 1 to 30 and still survive?
I think I shot twice, Randy. So 2 is closer to 30.
Did you or did you not? Did you not tell my mom and did you not tell
Okay,
my brother that
I
he got
spiced
shot
it up
30
a little bit.
No, be honest. You said he got shot 30 times.
I said he got shot at 30 times, like shot at him 30 times.
You didn't. No.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. That literally was like 12 years ago, Randy. Like, that's a long time ago.
He's like, my brain is fried, bro.
Yeah.
People don't forget. People don't forget.
Hey,
well, I forget.
You know what? That's true. People don't forget. Especially when you damage someone. They don't forget, bro. They don't forget. You can forgive,
bro,
but you won't forget.
Fucking asshole. Sometimes I'll go over, and I learned never to say yes anymore. It's just, no, I'm cool.
I'm cool.
This guy would be like, hey, we got some leftover burgers, some In-N-Out, or I'll go and be like, we got some leftover pizza. You want some? I'll be like, yeah, sure. It's like, oh wait, I forgot. We didn't get any.
Wow.
Ever since I don't get nothing from him.
Hey,
no.
If my nephews, if they say like, oh yeah, we do have something, then I'll get it from them. But if it's from him, it's always
no.
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, Bozo, remember when I told you about the homeless people carrying crossbows? You said I was fucking lying. Then what? 2 weeks later, you saw a person carrying a crossbow.
Hold on. When someone cries wolf so many times, guess what happens? You tend not to believe them anymore.
What?
It's like
that thing was true though.
It's like a compulsive liar, bro. Like,
but I'm not compulsive lying. Though. I told you the truth. That shit is the truth though, and it's true. There was a lot of homeless people carrying crossbows.
You said compulsive liar. He went right away with the defense.
I'm telling you, man,
that wall came up quick.
I just told you what I see. If you want to believe it, believe it. If you don't. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Hey, once again, it goes back to like, hey, do you, boo boo?
Exactly.
Don't
get mad at me when I don't believe your ass after so many fucking lies.
That is not lies.
Because a lot of those times I was fucking hungry. It really
okay, I admit it. A couple times I did go too far. Yes, I do. I admit that a couple times, but it's not all the time though. But the thing about the homeless people, the crossbows, is true though. Yeah, that was true. And there was a guy actually shooting at people. And that happened in Visalia. So
mental health, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But I always wondered, they can't tell him, like, you can't walk around with a crossbow. That's not considered a weapon.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. And I was talking about this yesterday. And it comes up quite a bit. Dude, when it comes to prisoners and homeless people, they're the most protective. They're the most protective. They have more rights than the average Joe Schmo
That's true.
obeying the law. And it's just that.
It's then that's
From my experience as addiction counselor and CO at the federal prison, they have nothing but rights. I'm telling you, like, it's like going back to COVID. If I didn't wear a mask, forget it. And a prisoner found out you had COVID and you still went to work, guess what? I'm getting sued by someone probably doing 20 to life.
Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna say this though. There's times like these that I wish sometimes the laws over here were a little bit more like Mexico, where the federales can beat the shit out of some of them because some of them need to get their ass kicked.
Whoa, that's fucked up,
Yeah.
Randy. They're homeless people. Come on.
No. We're talking about
Come
criminal.
on.
I'm not talking about homeless. Like criminals. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, it's like, bro, really?
Hey, you gotta
there's some
you
shit-
gotta specify.
There's some
Yeah.
shit. Let's be honest. There's some shit in Mexico or even other countries that won't
No,
even
yeah.
fly here. Like the moment you talk to a guard or you say some shit wrong to them, or the moment you try to do some fucked up shit, bro, you're gonna get your ass kicked. No one's gonna defend you because you're basically calling for the treatment.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I feel like sometimes, like, tough times create like how we were saying. Sometimes I feel like some need to get their ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Some
But
of these people that do crimes,
the thing is,
really
we
need to
have
get their fucking like
Yeah.
in Mexico, they need to get pinches calentadas. The federales need to get the fucking ground and be like, all right, están pinches unas calentadas, cabrón.
Yeah.
Like I remember there's these kids vandalizing. They were vandalizing at like a new terrorist area. They had put up like
Yeah.
a sign with the name of the town. I forgot what it was.
Hmm.
They took video destroying it. But then another video surfaced of them getting their asses kicked with a 2x4, and they're grabbing them and spanking them with it.
See, if those kids were in Singapore, bro, have you ever heard of Singapore?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I heard it's nice.
Hey,
it's really nice
the
there.
honestly, the most cleanest country I ever been to. And it's literally the most cleanest country in the world. And if those kids were out there, they do lashes, bro. I remember a story about a Marine that I want to say he spray painted a car sign or whatever. And they gave him so many lashes. And from what I've heard is that after the first lash, you're passed out.
Makes sense. That shit hurts like
Shit.
a bitch.
Yeah. Or like when I was in Japan, dude.
That sounds like the lashes maybe Jesus got right
you
there.
eat fish head and rice, bro. Every day. Fish head and rice.
No, the Japanese one, when you're in jail in Japan, you have to literally sit. Like, you can't even lay down. You can only lay down when you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're in jail, you got to be sitting down, knees up like that, and you have to stay there in posture for hours.
Yeah.
If not, they'll
I feel like
put bad
that's what
anime
we
on.
need in the States.
Yeah. So other countries, man. And then we wonder why, right? We wonder why so many other third world countries hate Americans.
And when you
Because they hate us for our freedoms. George W. Bush said that.
But are we really free?
Freer than them.
wherever you go, you have to give up some freedoms.
Yeah.
No, I think wherever you
We're-
go,
we-
you got to
we're
be...
free to a certain extent. Come on,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Hey, like,
Because in a free country, bro, someone's be jacking me and nothing's happening.
and this
to
is
them.
coming from a veteran. I love this country.
Oh yeah, no. 100%.
You know, you know what I mean? The Marine Corps was the best thing that has ever happened to me. It molded me into the man I am today. I respect our flag. I respect our nation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Randy,
But-
respect.
But sometimes it's like you got to be completely honest with yourself, especially during these times. Like, people talk so much about freedom of speech, and I started learning more about this and dissecting this when I went to do my undergrad, bro, and doing PowerPoints, and
Was it like a
doing
specific class
research.
or specific thing?
yeah,
that really did
like you want to say like communication classes, like I have a counseling degree and then I also have a sociology degree. So that's why I was saying I do a lot of market research. Like, a lot of people think that the only thing you could do with sociology is basically that, research. But there's other stuff that it's a behavioral science degree, right?
Yeah,
And so
that's a lot. You can do so much with that.
yeah, you could do so much with that. And it's one of those other things too, going back to business or even as an employer, employer-employee, right? Why don't we get taught finances in school? Because we want to be kept poor.
Yeah, John D. Rockefeller said that.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I need a country of workers, not a country of thinkers.
Mhm.
Rockefeller said that.
Right
Yeah.
there.
So-
That's Rockefeller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And he paid millions to, he's the one who started basically the lie that oil will run out. You know that?
Yeah.
He paid scientists to say, hey man, these dinosaurs all died and something happened. There's only so much oil. We got to take care
Yeah,
of
I
it.
believe that.
And he created a narrative that oil is running out, even though it's never running out.
How many
That's
fake-
just a myth.
How many scientists weren't brought out to say that fat was a problem and not sugar?
That's true.
Talk about the biggest
Yeah.
lie that really has hurt this country.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do you think that a lot of service businesses grow so fast and continue growing? Look at the fitness industry. That's a service business.
Yeah.
True.
You know how to.
Everything's a business.
Yeah, you know how to.
That's the best way I tell people too. You want to learn about something, just follow money.
Yeah.
Everything stems from money. Whatever it is, just follow the money.
Well, so to a certain extent, because this is like how I said earlier, it sounded arrogant, like, oh, if it ain't making me money. But that's the truth.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
at
true.
the other side of it is people ask me like, how did you become successful? I was on a panel for COS for,
Oh, that's dope.
for junior college, they're trying to figure out. I changed my major like 5 times when I went
Me
to
too.
COS.
Me too.
I didn't know really what to do.
Like I went from business to business marketing to this till I finished to political science, and political science has been my
but
shit.
now think
And
about
koala
that.
studies. You studied koalas?
Koala
Oh,
studies.
I don't know.
Yours was food
But-
stall waiting.
But think about it.
I don't need school to become successful.
Hey, think about it. Do you really need a business degree
Fuck.
to have a business?
No, I learned that like,
Yeah.
really in the middle of it. I was like, wait a minute. The
Hey,
fuck do I need this for?
we can sit here and talk days about business and others. I love the topic, man. Just because, like, dude, it's just creating you debt. You think FAFSA or student loans care if you change your damn major? No,
Fuck no.
because they're like, oh, he's gonna be here longer. How many people you know? I know quite a few that are probably still in junior college till this day
Yeah.
and still don't even know what the fuck they got like 20 different degrees.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You see, that's right there. If you have 20 different degrees and you're not doing nothing with it, you really just are just wasting time.
Mm.
20 degrees.
And one of my really good friends, he's actually my partner in the
Really?
home inspection business. You know what he called me once? He's like, hey, bro, you're a certificate whore. And I was like, thanks, bro. But guess what? I'm never going to go hungry.
Yeah.
That's true.
Never going to go hungry. Bro, right
But
now.
I feel like there's a difference though.
Yeah.
Because there's people that just get degrees because they don't know.
Yeah.
I feel you get a degree because you know
Yeah.
how you're gonna use it.
It's like you graduating
You know
like
how to benefit
it's like if you're
from it.
graduating with a major in history
Yeah.
and you're working at a winery.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Well, but your history degree comes into play if you
want to become a teacher.
you went broader into like the history of wine.
Oh.
Because a fun fact is like, the reason why Rival is successful is because I take the counseling approach. If I came in here today and you wanted cleaning services, you call me up, we set up a walkthrough. First of all, I tell people to turn their phones off. And people think I'm crazy because guess what? Phones distract people,
They
right?
do.
It's true.
Because when I first started, I ran into the issue where people were on their phone and then we're like, well, we didn't talk about that. And then I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, if you were in on your phone. So I made a no phone rule. So 30 minutes of your time, no phone. You touch your phone even once, I'm walking out the door. Because now you're
True.
wasting my time. Because guess what? My industry is the most underappreciated industry.
Damn right.
And it's the most high turnover rate.
Dude, that is true.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to clean for the rest of their lives, which once again, expectations out the window. When people work for me, I don't expect them to retire as a
hell yeah.
cleaner, as a professional cleaner.
Yeah.
And so going back to that is like, because I took the counseling approach. So my top questions like, hey, Randy, what drives you nuts about your current company? And then you get either 2-3 reactions, right? Oh, they're okay.
Or dog shit.
Oh, they're fine. Or you get the, oh my God, they don't do this, they don't do that, they don't do that. And then the next question is like, So what's your budget? And that changes everything, because I have core values, dude. And I've used, and any veteran could attest to this. Well, any veteran that wasn't a shitbag. Because once again, there's always a bad apple that spoils the whole tree.
It's just natural.
People slip through the cracks, bro.
It's natural.
I'm just being
tell
real.
People, it's natural. Like,
Yeah.
You can't expect everybody to do the same.
This is the reason why, and you could do the research on it, why, and I'm not knocking down the civilian population, is why veterans are such good franchise owners and business owners, is because we take what we learn in the military, all the disciplines, and we apply it to our businesses. You know what I'm saying? But am I saying that, oh, I'm this badass business owner? No, dude. I just told you I got mentors, tons of mentors, business coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be real. How many times you try to do something and do it alone?
All the time.
How many times you fail?
All the time.
Hey, my brother says, don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because someone can always help you.
So that's my biggest thing in business, is being in community. Service over self. When you work as a team, that's the number one thing that you learn in boot camp. You learn at the academy. You kind of learn it at school too.
Yeah.
At recess in sports, teammate. There's no I in team. You know?
Unless you do Kobe. There's
Unless
me
you
in that bitch.
Yeah,
hey,
true,
God
but
rest
you
his
understand,
soul.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a man that you gotta listen to, man. Because
That's just the thing I had to throw, because it was like, oh,
no,
this is
yeah,
so
for
cool,
sure.
man.
Yeah. No, and I get it, dude. Like, everybody has a different mindset.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? It's like David Goggins, bro. You want
that fool's
to,
a
that dude's hands down a fucking badass, bro.
He was one of the first books I started reading and
Yeah.
got me onto reading. I started ever since then. I've been reading so many different books.
Dude, I listen at,
I'm so proud of
Audible.
him.
Audible.
1 month reading.
yeah,
been
Audible,
saving me.
dude.
Learning 1 month to read right
I
here.
go on a run. Shut the hell up. I'm learning how to read this. I go on a run. I listen to Audible. I love that shit. Like like if there's 2 books that really kind of, like 3 books, Goggins, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
Those 3 books.
Those are the top 3 books I always recommend.
Bro, those 3 books have given me such a
what's the
different
last book
perspective
you also
each time
Yeah.
that I'm like, those 3 books I recommend to anybody.
But you know what because I always run into people that are like, oh, I read this book, I read that book. But I'm like, do you apply it?
do you apply, and did you learn?
You know, exactly. And one interesting thing that I want to bring up too is Escaleto, when you had him on the podcast, you know, going to my amateur career, it's like he said, you know, coaches don't make fighters. Once again, it's up to you. It's what you put into it. You train too, right? And it's what you put into it. And so for training camps, I listen to David Goggins because he motivates the fuck out of me.
The way he is, like,
Yeah.
like, part of me is kind of like where I have, like, I'm gonna say it, that arrogant view where I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, no excuses. Like,
Yeah.
like part of me is also like, I kind of take where it's like, you know, the asking for help.
Yeah.
That's probably like the toughest thing for me to do. Is to ask
Oh
for
yeah,
help on
100,
anything, you
100.
know? Because like, at the same time, I'm always like, in certain aspects, I tell myself is like, you know, like, how we say, people are living a life of expectation.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this in myself that everywhere I go, I'm always carrying a gallon of water wherever I go. And I noticed it had to do with expectation. Because I've learned in my life, like, I don't want to expect somebody to always help me. I want to expect I do it myself, even though I know I should. I need help in certain aspects.
Well, Randy,
Yeah.
look,
But
you always.
shut up. Let me finish, you fat warthog. Okay.
I was gonna tell you.
Let me goddamn finish.
Okay, can I say real fast?
Okay.
It's because you always live in the water because you're a fat hippo. That's it. Go finish your story.
No, but as I was going, it's that expectation. You know, everywhere I go, I make sure I have myself covered.
Yeah.
I don't expect someone
No,
else to, like,
absolutely.
you know, I don't expect this. So it's like, and it sucks because sometimes I try to apply those same things to other people that I
Yeah.
shouldn't. I'm like, dude, that's where I am. I shouldn't. You know, I go somewhere, I always got my guy in the water. I never ask for water. If I don't got a pin, I'll make sure I got a pin somewhere.
Yeah.
In my car, be like, no, I got a pin. If I need something, because for me, it's like, how can I expect others when I'm not expecting from myself. And it's crazy because it
Makes
goes
sense.
both ways. You know
No,
what
absolutely.
I have a question. Have you ever trained with Randy?
No.
No?
But now that I know that he trains, I'll train with him. I love to train with you, bro. I love to train with everybody, man.
Because
It's always fun.
It's fun, dude.
I enjoy it.
Dude, honestly,
training creates a brotherhood like other people, like people
yes,
who don't train don't
dude,
understand.
yes.
Like if you kick someone's ass or he kicks your ass, there is a bond there that's just like it's hard to explain.
No, dude, absolutely. Look, so when I first moved to the Valley, back in 2016, right? You know, I wanted to start training again. I trained down south in San Diego. You know, I grew up in New York, New Jersey. I trained at Rocky Montiano down in downtown Jersey City, right? So I come from a family of boxers, you know, and always loved boxing. But when I moved out to the Valley, like that's what I wanted, dude. Like I tried out gyms, you know, I talked to some people like and I just wanted to train. I wanted to feel that camaraderie again. And that's when I found Vitruvian. So I've been over there with Mark Dela Cruz for almost 4 years now, man. And yeah, pretty much 4 years now. And dude, jiu-jitsu MMA changed my life, bro. If you need any type of decompression, like for like mental health or just like to do something like a hobby activity, I always tell veterans, I tell regular people, I'm like, dude, jiu-jitsu. You know, because not everybody likes getting punched in the face.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm like the opposite. When I first started training, I hated jiu-jitsu. I hated wrestling. I despise it. Growing up my life, just like you, boxing.
Yeah.
6, 7 years old, we were boxing. I loved boxing. Every year for my birthday, we'd watch boxing.
Yeah. Because
like my birthday falls on September 14th.
Yeah,
Next
I remember,
Independence weekend, it's always that time. Guess what?
Party up.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that on your podcast.
Yeah.
With,
I know a lot of my uncles weren't going for my ass. They were going to watch the fucking fight.
Nah, stop, Randy. They cared about you. No, I'm playing. Nah, they did. Come on, Randy.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
you still got a present. What the fuck are you blabbling about?
It was always like I love boxing.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
There's something about like when you get really hard hit in the face that wakes you up and you're just like, okay.
And just the grit. What Mexicans say, the cojones, you know what I mean? And just 12 rounds, bro. Like, I grew up watching Trinidad, Ivan Calderon, De La Hoya, Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones was a beast.
You know, I remember the best time I had was actually being on a float with Trinidad for New York.
Really?
Puerto Rican Day Parade, bro. Yeah.
Damn, that must have been badass.
Hey, it was badass, bro. It was badass. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, dude, it's like and that was the thing, dude. Like I grew up watching boxing, and you know, I tell people all the time, like, you know, my dream was to be on the Marine Corps boxing team. But they only had a boxing team in Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, which I was in station out there. My first duty station was Inland Empire by Palm Springs, so 29 Palms, Joshua Tree area. And the next place that had a boxing team was Camp Pendleton, you know, and I didn't get to Camp Pendleton until 2012. But I remember they had disbanded the Marine Corps boxing team. And I was so...
Why did they disband it?
Well, I don't know, dude. I think it was like something like...
Budget
I don't know if it was
shit?
a Marine or a sheriff that got killed in the ring.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
that's why? Oh,
yeah, I think it was that. I don't honestly, I don't really remember, but it was something in that line. And then like I remember being stationed in 29 Palms, right across the street, we had a gym, and you know, a couple guys that were doing mixed martial arts was like, hey, dude, like come train McMatt. And so the Marine Corps has a Semper Fight team. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't like that. Like, I was like you, wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't like that hugging shit.
I
just like, well, like Mexicans say, I just like throwing the chingazos, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like.
And so, so anyway, long story short, I started doing MMA, and I dude, I actually liked it. And I got serious with doing Marine Corps Mixed Martial Arts program. I was a brown belt instructor, and so it was cool, dude. And we do grappling, all kinds of stuff, you know. And yeah, that's what sparked me. But once again, dude, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, so I've always fought to survive, bro. Like I got picked on a lot. I got bullied, you know, and I just had to learn how to fight, man. And,
I have a question. How many amateur fights have you done?
With 559, I have 2.
2?
Yeah, my first one was last year. I fought in the heavyweight division. I lost that one. Dude was like 30 pounds heavier than me. You know, well, I'll give him a shout out. He fights for what is it? Valley Fight Series?
Oh, Valley Fight Series?
Yeah, his name Eric Quinones. He's another veteran. He's a Navy vet. And
sounds so familiar.
Well, no, because I guess he's undefeated and he just won the I don't know if it was the cruiserweight belt or the heavyweight belt.
He sounds familiar.
But the interesting about him was like he was so mellow, dude. No ego, and that's what I like, man. A lot of fighters, like, they get all crazy, and I know it's a
entertainment, like
entertainment type deal, but some dudes, they go overboard, you know.
I feel like there's a thing from entertainment and like, you know, like, bro, you're both going in there to fight. Like, it's like, but I feel like it goes to our culture.
Yeah,
you know, because if you go to other places around the world, like, they're very, very anti that. Like, even the crowd, even the fans know what's going on, and you never hear like disrespect from the fans to a fighter.
Yeah.
And over here, it seems, and like in other places, like it seems it's not like, it's very different. Where it's like you go more for the flashy guy who talks a lot, does, you know, all this. You know, you see constantly fans always like even like fucking disrespecting fighters. But if you go to like Thailand or go to these other places that have martial arts have been there for hundreds and thousands of years, it's just crazy the difference.
Yeah, dude. They had that documentary series on Netflix. It's old. The Fightland. You ever seen that?
Was that with Frank Grillo?
Yeah, he's the one from what's that show again called? The MMA show on Netflix. What was that gym? It was in Venice, right? They filmed it in Venice.
Was it in Venice?
He was the dad in that movie. I mean, not movie, but show series.
Fuck,
I'm trying to remember, but I know him from like other movies.
Yeah. So yeah, he went to different countries.
Yeah.
There's some brutal.
I think one of them that was crazy was Ludwig or something like that, where they literally use headbutts.
Headbutts, yeah, dude.
Really?
That
like headbutts a legit strike.
Yeah, dude. It was
Ludwig.
Lethway. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I seen that. Like, I've always watched, like, you know, action movies and stuff, you know. And those were the times my dad and I would bond, was watching like you know, all these action movies, fight movies, and stuff, like Bloodsport, like kickboxing, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I do 559, you know. If the boss lets me do another fight, I'll probably do another fight.
But you see it more like a hobby, or really want to like get down the road, pursue it more, so like something that keeps you entertained. Like,
yeah, honestly, I don't ever tell anybody like, oh, I want to make a career out of it, or I'm doing it as a hobby. It's one of those things that where I want to go with this.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like
you just going wherever it takes you. Whatever it takes you.
I have that warrior spirit, bro. It boils down to that, dude. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm a go-getter, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but I enjoy fighting, and my coaches see that. They see the joy I get out of it, you know, because obviously that's why I was a Marine. I was in the infantry, like, you know,
I told that to Randy. Randy one time told me he wanted to do one amateur fight. I was like, you should maybe just do one, but you know,
maybe
who knows, you know.
But I mean, at the end of it, everybody, you know, everybody will have an opinion. Like, oh yeah, you should fight again. Some people be like, oh, you shouldn't fight again.
No, I think you should do it only if you really want to do it.
Exactly. But then when
Like if you,
you
have
have
that
kids
one,
and marriage
if you really
involved,
had,
it kind of gets tough because it's
Yeah.
like you both have to be on the same page. You know what I mean? And I think my last fight was bullshit. You know what I mean? I didn't take it as hard as the first one. The first one, like I took that loss hard. I was because I made amateurs, right? I made so many mistakes. You know, I knocked the dude. I knocked him down like 3 times in the first round. Like, and I look back at it and I'm like, why the hell didn't I finish that? Like, why did I make that mistake? You know what I mean? But this time around, like, I dislocated my shoulder. But the only reason why I was so like it was bullshit and I was pissed off was because one, my opponent didn't make weight. I still took the fight. I lost 46 pounds. I went from 246, well, technically 48 pounds because at weigh-ins I was 198. He came in at almost 208, and I still took the fight.
You lost 50 pounds. If you're 248,
yeah, about 48
dude,
pounds.
That's 50 pounds
in 13 weeks, and I did it healthy. And you know, people, we were talking about this earlier about weight cut, right? You know, and I did it healthy. People thought I was starving. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, but because a lot of people don't know, like back in the day, like when I was in the Marine Corps, I was a personal trainer. When I got out, I was a personal trainer. You know, I did nutrition stuff. You know, I was very into. My dream had always been to open up a gym, but now it's like you see a gym everywhere, bro. And so, you know, if I ever get my money right and the market continues growing as it is, you know, one of my mentors is Miguel Aguilar from Self Made, and he actually sponsored me for my last fight. And you know, I talk back and forth with him of like the possibility of opening a Self Made out here, but probably like Clovis area, you know what I mean? But the thing with that is like, I was pissed, man. I want to rip this. Oh, everybody saw it. Even all the other fighters, they could feel my vibes. Like, cause I'm usually a mellow dude. But that day, like the Marine Corps kill switch was like
bro,
full throttle, bro. Like you see the video, like I was like wanting, it was like you saw, not hate, cause I don't hate anybody, but you saw the anger, like the, you know, the viciousness, like in my, you know, and that's why I shaved my head, bro. Because when you shave your head and in the Marine Corps, it's, you know, 2 things. It's your first deployment, or basically like you just one of those dudes that like you're like in character, like in Hollywood, bro. You're in character, like you're ready to leave the wire and you're ready to fuck shit up. And that night, I gave the crowd what they wanted, you know, and it was pretty cool because like my sister-in-law went and she was like, my wife was telling me like, oh, she was like, yeah, you know, my sister was like, I didn't realize he had so many supporters. And what we were talking about earlier, networking, bro. Yeah. Networking is big. It's big. Like if you want to do anything now in life, business or whatever, or professional like career, you have to network. Because at the end of the day, come on, let's be real. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, that's true.
All the time.
You know what I mean?
All the fucking time.
Because later down the road, you could be the next billionaire. I could be the next billionaire. Be like, damn, dude, I remember I did a podcast with that guy. Or I could be, I was on that Randy's podcast.
I have a question, buddy. The other day, Randy showed me a video of this like guy who's transitioning into a woman, and he's beating the fuck out of this girl at a fight.
Wait, hold on. I did not show you that video, bro. Do not mention me on that shit.
What are you?
Shit.
Let me finish this.
Clarify. I did not send you.
You showed me some fight. No. Let me clarify. What do you think about that? Because I've told Randy.
Hey, I'm gonna be blunt, bro.
Be blunt. Do you support that, Randy?
I do not support that.
Yeah, I was telling you, like that makes like literally. It's not fair. I know Randy's pro that, but I was like, that's not fair.
I'm usually I'm usually neutral, bro. I'm not like, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm a hardcore Republican or hardcore Democratic. I'm neutral, bro. I always been neutral.
Yeah, just stay in your lane. I
stay in my lane, and if I got to defend myself, I got to defend myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when it comes to that, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like have some fucking character, bro. Like,
there's got to be a limit. Like, you're trying to, like, there's got to be like a certain line you just.
Yeah, a certain line. It's like one time while I was transitioning out, we had the first female infantry officer, I believe it was, that came into my unit. But I was leaving. So this was when all the chaos started about females being in the
Special
infantry.
forces does that? And
Yeah, for in the Marine Corps though, because
okay.
they were already doing it for like the Army or whatever,
Yeah,
whatnot. I haven't heard of it for like Navy SEALs. I don't think it would happen. It can't. But you know, people ask me like, and sometimes it'd be like those. Once again, people that slip through the cracks. It'd be those grunts that slip through the cracks and they're fucking shit bags and they can't carry their own weight. And they'd be like, "Oh, women shouldn't be in the infantry." I'm like, bro. I've seen women shoot a machine gun or a sniper rifle better than you can shoot your own damn rifle.
Not only that, I'm gonna say this here. A lot of people don't realize how many Russian women fought to fight off the Germans in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contradiction.
There were thousands, almost
look at Ukraine.
millions of women there
a lot of
just to fight off the Germans.
Yeah.
The Russian women were some were pilots. Some were mostly snipers, but there's some still fighting on the front line.
True. That's like they have a long history of service women.
No, for sure. And going back to that, the transgender or whatever you want to call it, going in like fighting a female, it's because, bro, you couldn't hack it in the men's division. Yeah, I'm just being honest, and I won't sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm the best amateur MMA fighter," but. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
There was a post that said that I think this swimmer or someone, he was like ranked 248 with the men.
And then he went and transitioned women. Yo, there was a big fiasco about that, dude.
I think a lot of that is just clout chasing for some reason. Like, they want to be like this.
Dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I'm a firm believer with, like, things happen naturally. Yeah. You know, kind of like, Randy, you invited me onto this podcast. It's like, I never reached out to you and was like, "Hey, bro, put me on your podcast. You definitely need me on your podcast." No, it was like one of those things like you mentioned it. You were like, "Hey, maybe one of these days we could have you on the show." So I'm a firm believer, like things happen for a reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just like my walk in life, dude, everything has lined up and happened for a reason. You know, get what I'm saying? And that's why I tell you, like, I don't care what happens today. Tomorrow, I'm going to try harder. I'm going to be continuously being successful, you know, because you see all these, like these shows with business people, they're like, okay, they go undercover, whatever. And they're like, "Oh, you're going to be homeless. And I want you to make $1 billion company with no money." Do you think that is possible, or it's just all like show?
Possible to take them a long time.
Oh yeah, you got to trust the process.
It's possible in America.
They already had the mentality though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how are you gonna go out there and tell a successful person and be like, "Hey, with no money, start a business"? They're in survival mode, bro. They're gonna do it. Now take an ordinary person and do that to them. It's gonna be a longer process. Just like me, I've been at it almost 5 years. You know. I had a painting company down south, closed up shop, came out here, you know, and now, you know, I have my own cleaning company, and then I'm a partner in another company. And then on the side, out of the kindness of my heart, I help other people, you know, that want to start their own business, you know, because, you know, I'm not saying I know everything about business, but I've been there, done that.
You know exactly what needs to be done.
The steps,
first.
Exactly, the steps. You know, and you gotta crawl before you walk, before you run.
That's true. No, it's true. That's true. 100%. You gotta go through that hard, you know, the first baby steps, you know, get it going.
Yeah. Damn, it was a good episode.
Yeah, for sure.
It was fucking good. I think we'll call it there.
Yeah.
And we'll set up another one here in a few weeks.
Hells yeah.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Definitely again. But as always, well, before we go, you gave me this shirt. It has the Rival Cleaning Services. Okay, cool. This is the one.
Those are all my sponsors.
Like your workout shirt, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is badass. Sorry, Ralphie, it's not your size because I know you wear double XL. I'm a large, so.
Hey, if you could get Randy next time some booty shorts, he'll wear those too.
Get him some. Get him some
Rival
Silkies.
Cleaning Services. If you guys are in the area, definitely look them up. You got an Instagram?
Yeah, we got Instagram, Facebook,
Hit them up, Rival Cleaning Service, whatever.
rivalcleaningservice.com.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hells yeah, bud.
Badass. Thank you very much, my man.
Hey, you're
But
welcome.
as always, guys, greatness is one day at a time. Let's get it. Love y'all. You want to say anything before we head out, big dog?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my coaches, Ruben Cuellar, Mark Dela Cruz, and my coach, Steve Ramirez. And then, my mentors out there, Battle Stripes, George Velasquez, and just shout out to everybody, man.
You have to show.
Hey, keep your head up and keep trucking forward.
No,
cool. You're not important, sorry.
Ugh. You're a funny guy.
But yeah, thank y'all for listening. And also a quick shout out to the Cloud Factory. They're always showing love, always letting me use their setup. It's always badass. Love those guys. Go check out their merch. They got a whole bunch of merch on Instagram. If you guys live in the valley, come check out. Get your vapes, get your wraps here. Quality stuff. Don't go to those ghetto ass fucking smoke shops where there's a guy pissing on the corner. There's a Starbucks near, Taco Bell, Subway. It's clean. I'm telling you, this is where you come. Fuck those other places. But love you guys.